Hello, fellow developers. This is a tutorial video. I'm gonna explain how to use AI in UnityEngine using VisualStudio. So let's get started. We need to have a couple of things on the machine to make it done. First of all, UnityEngine. You can download it right here from the unity.com. And we're gonna use Visual Studio Community specifically just because it's free to use for non-commercial projects. So we download this one and we're good to go. As only everything is installed, in the final end, we'll need to install AI Game Developer, which is MCP server for Unity, but that's going to be the next step. Let's get started with Unity project. So as only you're going to download the Unity, you're going to see Unity Hub, this window. Here, you can create an empty new project. I'm going to do that. Let me set the folder where I gonna make this project. It's gonna be AI demo right here, and the name of the project gonna be Visual Studio. All right, and I'm gonna click Universal 3D Template. Unity provides a lot of different templates, so you can choose anyone you would like to start with. And also I'm gonna switch into version to the latest one, like that. Okay, let's click Create Project. It's gonna take a minute, and I'm gonna explain a bit more stuff. So it's gonna be a chain. We're gonna connect Unity through AI Game Developer to Visual Studio. It's gonna work like that. So we will need to connect all of this. And that's actually it. So it's very easy to use in Visual Studio. I also have a Visual Studio right here. That's very important when you're gonna open Visual Studio. When you're gonna open your game project in Visual Studio, you need to open it in the exact same location where the Unity project is. Like it should be not a higher level folder, not lower level folder. It should be the right one, like the root folder of Unity project. I'm gonna show you where is that. Let's click open folder. Let's get to my project location. It should be somewhere here, Visual Studio, this one. And this is the folder. So that folder, which contains assets, that's the right one. Oh no, it's selected. Yeah, like this. It should be Visual Studio. All right, that's good. So let's hit select folder, and it should be good. All right, we have a lot of stuff right here. I'm not gonna update it for you right now, sorry. All right, so here's the GitHub Copilot chat. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. The last thing here that's we need to have for this demonstration, we need to have GitHub Copilot. I do pay for it. It's like $10 a month, but there are a couple of like many different options actually. You don't have to go just with this one. Yeah, I got in a record another video about another things. This one gonna be specifically about GitHub Copilot and Visual Studio. So let's stick to this option. I'm gonna close all of this tutorial. We just need this window and that's it. And I'm gonna make it smaller because we don't need much space here. That's actually enough. All right, so we have AI. The next step, the Unity project is done. It just opened. So I'm gonna delete a couple of tutorial things that Unity give us out of the box, like this one. We don't need README as well. Unity takes a second to recompile some stuff. Okay, that's done. We have an empty project right now. All right. And the next step, we're gonna install AI Game Developer into UnityEngine. That's very easy to do. Let me switch back to the browser. So that's our bridge. It's gonna connect everything together. Let's get to the installation section, which is right here. The first one, we have two options. It's up to you. So the first one is like you just download the installer and drop it into the Unity project, and that's it. It's gonna work. Another one, you can use a command line to run this command, but you need to have installed npm and also openupm. That's a command line command to install packages into Unity projects. I'm gonna go with installer way. I already have it downloaded, so I'm gonna go to Unity, then assets, import package, custom package, this one. And I'm gonna import the package that I downloaded, the installer. All right, let's click open, and then let's click import right here in this window. And it's gonna drop into this project all of these files. All right, let's click. Unity gonna take a minute to make it done. And it's gonna inject all the dependencies automatically. If you will need to update the package, you can go to window. I can't do that while Unity is recompiling stuff, so we will need to wait. But you can open package manager in Unity. I'm gonna show you in a sec. And you can install any version of AI Game Developer. You can downgrade, you can upgrade if any new version. So it's very flexible. All right, yeah, we can close this one. It's not important. All right, that's good. We have AI Game Developer already here. Let's get open package manager. I'm gonna show you that what I'm just set. Package manager. Okay, good. And the package manager itself in the Unity gonna take a minute to refresh stuff. Okay, it's done. Good. So right here, if you're gonna click on AI Game Developer, you're gonna see version history. See other versions. Yeah, and there are many different versions. You can like take anyone, take any version if you want. And you one, it also gonna be here, so you're gonna see. All right, so that's good. We have AI Game Developer in Unity connected to the Unity editor. Let's connect it with Visual Studio. So the next step is gonna be, oh, actually, I forgot to add a button to configure Visual Studio. I only have a button to configure Visual Studio Code. Okay, so we're gonna cover this one anyway, because we have manual configuration. So you can technically put it into any MCP stuff, like any MCP client that supports this MCP protocol. And we are using actually MCP protocol here to make it all of this work. So I can copy this stuff, like actually everything. I can copy this text. And let me Google up real quick with you guys how to get where Visual Studio saves MCP config file. So we're gonna know where's that, and that's gonna be where VS Code, Visual Studio Windows, VS. Okay, I see. Okay, right. That's easy. Okay, so for you, probably when you're gonna see that this video, it's gonna be a button here, but it's not yet there. So we're gonna make it manually. Let's get back to Visual Studio. It wants to do something. All right, let's do that. No problem. Oh, sweet. It has a new interface, and I'm not much familiar with this one. Okay, I see. So we have, what's that? Well, it's going to be easier if I just simply go to the folder on my own. So, okay, we have vs folder .vs. It's a hidden folder. Make sure you have hidden folders visible in your Explorer window on Windows, if you are on Windows, of course. The same stuff works on Mac. No, don't worry about that. So here, we're going to create a new text file, mcp, oopsie, mcp, what? Something crazy is happening here. It just drops my file, so we're going to create it. Let me open it. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Okay, and let me rename it. MCP. Okay, thank you. JSON.json. Yes, finally. Right, perfect. You can close that. Okay, so we have the file right there. That's our configuration. And let me check the one thing. Some MCP clients, they have a different name in the JSON. It could be like, it could be MCP server, or it could be servers. So that's sensitive to that stuff. We need to be sure how Visual Studio wants us to make it. Visual Studio MCP JSON sample. All right, let's take a look. That's specifically, yeah, let's specifically servers. Okay, so we're gonna upgrade that file a bit. All right, let's get back to this one. Let's open it. So it should be just servers, like this. Okay, let's save it, close it. Oh, by the way, I just allowed to run MCP server, so Visual Studio already started it, which is good. Let's see, we can close this, we can open that, and let's switch back to Copilot chat right there. All right, so the server is running. Let's take a look. What do we have here? Not yet, actually, not yet. Okay. All right, let's click on the tools. All right, yeah. We need to turn it on. So we need to turn on all the tools of AI Game Developer. Let's do that. In the future, if you would like to make your AI more efficient, you may need to disable the tools you don't need to have. For example, if you're not going to use AI for manipulating with game objects, components, parameters on the components, and the rest of the Unity editor, if you don't care about that, if you, let's say, just gonna use C# coding and unit test running in the UnityEngine and compilation error checking, you don't need all of that stuff. So you can disable that. So you can like go and do all of this for all of them, and just keep like maybe editor, maybe scripts, maybe a couple of scenes. It's up to you. Like script, that stuff, and of course test runner. That's the important one. So if you have that, that's gonna do only that stuff. Why that's important? So AI has a memory. It's called context, and the context is unfortunately limited. And at least at this moment of time, it's usually about 200,000. There is a new model from Google that's Gemini 3 Pro. It has 1 million, 5 times bigger, which is much better, actually, very good. So you can try that one as well, by the way. All right, so we're gonna use GPT-5 Mini just because it's kind of like free, I believe. Here, yes, it has 0x, so it's not gonna consume my tokens. It's going to be free at my GitHub Copilot subscription. All right, so we have this, and let me take a look why we still not get connected, because we have to be connected. The server should be active, and my bad, but I don't know where exactly in the Visual Studio we have MCP configurations. Maybe somewhere here. Yeah, we also need to turn on the agent mode. That's important because it's going to let AI to use tools. We have the tools enabled, which is also good. All right, how to start the server. So here's how it should work. Visual Studio should launch the AI Game Developer server from that configuration JSON we just set it in. So it has everything what it needs to make it run. We just need to find the button. We just need to launch it. And I'm looking for it right now. I'm looking for it right now. It should be actually. Let me ask something like Google. I don't know how to launch local MCP server in Visual Studio. All right, not code. Sorry. Use MCP server in Visual Studio for Windows. All right, let's try this. Let's take a look quickly. Okay, it said we have to be in the agent mode and we need to turn on, select the tool you want to use. Okay, try a sample prompt, list issues. Oh, all right. Probably I know what's going on. So I just needed to type a prompt. That's it. As simple. Okay, and let me try. List. Show me the game objects in the scene. That's what I'm gonna say. Let's take a look at the Unity. Yeah, it's actually running the command scene get data, which is, yes, that's one of the commands right here. Scene get data, that's this one. It runs this one. I'm gonna put it here. All right. Oh yeah, and I need to confirm, of course I'm gonna confirm. Okay. Finally, yeah, it just gets connected in the Unity. You may see this green circle and the status is connected. So, all right. Sorry for me messing here a bit. So Visual Studio runs the server automatically. That's slightly different from Visual Studio Code, which I used to use. And in Visual Studio Code, you need to launch the server manually. All right, so it's actually already working. So you may take a look. In the Unity project, I have 3 game objects: main camera, directional light, global volume. Let's take a look what AI can see. And that's exactly main camera, directional light, global volume. Perfect. Okay. So what else? Let me ask it something to do something. Let's say create a cube 100 by 100 with name floor and set it at y equals 0. Okay, so it's gonna do the cube for us real quick. Let me put it somewhere here. So we're gonna see the scene right there. Let me allow everything, like allow in this session, always allow. All right. Okay, so the cube is done. And let's say create 5 different primitive objects. So like spheres, capsules, etc. And turn them in random rotations and set them all in the center of the world in a circle with radius 15. Maybe 15. It's small circle. So it's just gonna do some random task which I just created. It's like it's not something like truly helpful or important. It's just a demonstration. So it's gonna do any action in your Unity editor because it has access to the API. It can do literally everything. So I can ask it to make a simple game or some UI or wherever you just need. Okay, it just started to do some stuff. So yeah, you may see like there are some cylinders, cubes, something bigger here. I see shadow. Oh, it's flat panel. I see. Okay, it's flat panel right there. All right. Yeah, so it just did something. Let me ask a couple of things, like change the light of the scene to yellow. So it's the prompt which I just use is like actually very generic, right? But it's gonna understand like what I'm talking about just because it's AI. Oh, I need to confirm, of course, always. And that's already done. So it just understands the context because it sees the scene. It understands there is a directional light game object right there, and it understands like there's a color property here. So and it just takes it and change it as I asked. All right, so let's do something a bit more crazy. Create a script that will rotate a game object by a single axis for 360 degrees with flexible duration and no, just duration as a property for the script, which I can change in the Unity inspector window. All right. Oh yeah, and also like and attach it to all of these new game objects you made except for. Let's confirm, by the way, what it's asks me to do, and let's hit another prompt assembly is done. I'm gonna let it done first, just to not mess up this AI flow. Don't want to interrupt it. Okay, so it's doing something. File modified detected. What's that? Reload, right? VisualStudio got refreshed because oh no, my prompt gone. Yeah, so AI just modified project, right? Unity got recompiled and VisualStudio decided to refresh itself as well. Not good, actually. It just breaks the user experience. I would recommend to try VS Code because it's much better in this context. But anyway, um, attach this new component to all game objects you made except for. All right. So I was going to do that in a second. And if you're going to use AI here with Unity, I would really recommend you to follow a couple of things. First of all, do the task in the window right here. As only your task is done and you actually don't care about the previous information from the task, create a new window, like by clicking this button, small button right there. Why is this important? Because AI, during the process of working something like taking prompts from you, reading information from Unity, and even creating some output from AI, it's gonna keep spending the context. The context that's AI's memory. And as more memory it consumes, the less efficient AI become. So you are interested in to keep the context free as much as possible, of course. It shouldn't be free completely because it's not going to do something at all. So yeah, let's take a look, by the way. What do we have here? Yes, we have the script connected to game objects. Probably rotation of the cylinder not going to be visible, but rotation of the cube gonna be. All right, so let's play the game, and the script should work. So we're gonna see the rotation. Yeah, that's it. That's working. I can change the duration to make it slower as well, please. Yeah, and you can do whatever you want. Like That's like completely flexible. Oh yeah, actually, I would like to try one more thing real quick. I'm gonna ask like something strange, and I'm gonna switch model to a smarter one just because I want to have a good output. That's gonna be, do I have Gemini 3 Pro right there? Unfortunately, but that's fine. Okay, gonna use Claude Sonnet 4.5. All right, and let's make a new context, new window. So the context will be cleared. AI gonna be like fresh and more efficient. So let's say, create a material. No, well, wait a sec. Create a shader of a glass. Make a material for this shader and attach the material to all spheres and cylinders in the scene. All right. So that's going to be a visual stuff. Yes, of course. Let me confirm all of that. What you want. I wish it should be a button, and maybe that's a button to allow everything. I know that's like a bit risky to allow everything for AI, but I'm actually very tired configuring this stuff always. Because it's gonna utilize about like 6 tools probably to make it done. You just need to get the list of existed shaders to create another shader, to do something else. Okay, confirm always. Oh yeah, by the way, a very interesting topic. So sometimes AI may fail, and that's fine because like by design, AI game developer provides a very detailed feedback to AI, like a prompt which goes backwards. It goes backwards into AI from Unity, and AI gonna like read it and actually very likely understand what's exactly wrong, what exactly should be changed, done, and it's gonna try again and again until it's gonna be actually done. So that's the beauty of all of this. Even if this fails on first time, it's probably gonna be succeeded on third try. And that's exactly what just happened. So you may see these red icons. So it's something could get failed, but then it did try again and again, and it just made it. All right. So it's still doing something. I didn't take a look. Oh, I see. It just made the shader. Maybe it will make a material. Oh, I hope I did not turn it off. Tools, important tools. At least not here. Didn't I turn it off here? Whoopsie, yapes. Yay, I did. That's bad. So AI is trying to find a workaround, but yeah, actually turn it off. Let me turn it on. It should be these tools like get data, create material, actually delete. Yes, I need to have all of this right now. Ooh, yeah, that's like a messy sample. Yeah, you may see it still tries, which is pretty impressive, I would say. It tries to generate the files on its own, like create pure files from AI, which is not very efficient, and that's a bad idea to do because like there is a single function which AI can simply call, and that's it. It's going to be done for AI without any error. But just because I forgot to turn it on, it tries to make it on its own, and it's already got into the problem. So yeah, that's expected. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna close this context because it's wasted. Let's create a new one. Let's keep it. I don't know. Let's close all that stuff. Let's take a look what AI had made already. How badly it was. Um, it made material folder. It's empty. Do we have shaders? We have shaders. Oh, actually, yeah, yeah, we have a shader. Maybe that's even good. All right. Anyway, let me do that. So the context is cleared. The tool, all the tools are active right now, and we're gonna hit enter one more time with the same prompt. Let's see. All right. Yeah, also important thing. So if you would like to keep your context cleaner, you can disable, as I mentioned earlier, the tools in Visual Studio. I could be wrong, sorry for that, but I'm gonna explain at least as much as I know. If you're gonna disable the tools in the Visual Studio directly, like right here, by unchecking this checkbox, you are not truly removing them from the memory, from the context. You just do not allow AI to use them, but they still consume the context. So each tool, when it exists, it spends the AI's memory. But if you're gonna go to this into this window and turn it off right here, you're gonna completely erase the tool from the memory. AI not even gonna know about the existence of the tool, and the memory gonna be free, which is better. So you better to disable tools here. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, and let's take a look. So it fails for some reason. Can we check why? It has some logs. Pilot internal user response. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm gonna switch the model. Probably that's why. So I'm gonna switch to one of the free models. Actually, you know what? Let me try first. GPT 5.2. Yeah, it's a bit smarter. All right, one more time. The same prompt. Let's go. Okay, let's enable the model. All right. Okay, let's keep going. I hope this time is gonna like succeed. We'll see. So yeah, few things. Keeping the context clean, that's good thing. Then choosing a smart model, that's another good thing. So yeah, some models more expensive, but that's very likely because for a good reason, right? All right. Oh, it just saved the scene. Okay, good. Let's take a look. What do we have? So it did make the glass material in the final end. I don't like this material. I'm gonna ask it to change it. Maybe that's okay. So let's ask it to make a silver material, like a mirror. It's gonna reflect the stuff. So let me do that. Make a silver, like glancy silver material, and attach it to capsule. That's the capsule. All right. Actually, you know what? We hadn't needed to make the custom shader because Unity has a default one, which is good enough to we can just switch the parameters of it and it's gonna work. All right, it's doing something. It's going to modify. Oh yeah, it's done. Okay. So you may see how it works. So it's made the silver stuff. Okay, let me do a bit more interesting stuff. Oops, that was too fast. Let ask AI to make an outline cartoonish shader and attach it to this cube. All right, let's try. Create cartoon outline shader and material and attach it to the cube in the scene. All right, so it's gonna do something else. I hope there's gonna be useful samples because I'm just creating ideas on the fly. And yeah, it can do like literally everything because like this AI game developer has the full access to entire game engine, even in runtime. So even if you're gonna like make the build of the game, and if you're gonna create a custom tools, which I'm gonna show in a sec, you can let AI to run any function in your code to manipulate any data. Always allow. I'm clicking always allow just to avoid clicking that button again and again. All right, it just doing something still. I'm pretty sure it's going to be done like in a couple of seconds. All right. Yeah, and I was saying AI Game Developer can do literally everything because it has the full access. So you can ask it to write code, to develop game mechanics, to make animations, using third-party plugins like Dutween, wherever you want. So it just because it uses the reflection, even if you're gonna add something custom into a project, like let's say your code or third-party plugin, AI game developer is still gonna see that because as long as your project didn't get recompiled, it's gonna automatically take this data and so AI game developer has tools to AI to get all the access to all of that. It can search for functions. It can take any data to read, and it can set any data like to write it down, to modify it on a game object, on any component, on any scriptable object, on any material, on any file in your project. And that's working not through like going deep into the text of the file, right? It's going through C# reflection on a fly, which is more efficient way because it's going to drain less memory context of AI. Let me all of that stuff as well. Oh, and by the way, you can take a look right now. AI calls the tool called script execute. That's a very interesting one because this tool it uses Roslyn compilation on a fly. So that's actually a very interesting thing. It's like if you're gonna create a C# code in Unity editor in the project and save it like a file, Unity gonna recompile the project, which is like a heavy operation, right? And it's gonna reload the Unity's domain, which is like very slow actually. But the Roslyn, that's a C# technology from .NET, it can compile a piece of C# code in runtime without a file instantly, like in a single millisecond. And it works inside of the Unity editor environment. And AI game developer can consume a C# code from AI and execute it immediately. That code even can print something into the console or return something back to AI, like a string. So that's like ultimately flexible thing. And AI can do any action in the project by just writing a chunk of the code and just execute it immediately without no delays. AI is actually done. Let's take a look. What do we have? I definitely see some try of an outline, but that's not truly an outline. And by the way, the glass material is transparent, which is cool. I didn't notice that at the start. So yeah, we definitely can polish all of that, and we can like keep talking with AI to ask it to modify that and this. But that's not the topic of this demo. So I'm just showing how to install and get started. And I would say we just achieved a good result. So we have VisualStudio connected to AI Game Developer in the UnityEngine, and everything works pretty well. Yes, that's probably it. So thank you guys for your attention. If you have any questions about all of this, let me know in the comments below this video. And yeah, that's it. Thank you. Have a good day.